Hello! Welcome to the massive Siggy dub! Massive Sigewinne. Sigewinne? Siggy? Sigewinner? I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce this character's name, but let's talk about her anyway. Before we get into it, Sigewinne is a Hydro healer. She can use her elemental burst to damage off field or on field. Her elemental skill throws down a ball. The ball heals your party every bounce. The ball will bounce 5 times at C0. You're looking at 3/4 to 6k heal ticks from the ball with a 4-star weapon. The 4-star weapon is, let's just talk about weapons. Her weapon options are Recurve Bow, Favonius Warbow, her 5-star weapon, Pouring Heartstrings, or Elegy for the End. Those are her weapon options. Why are other DPS weapons not on this list? At C0, her burst, it does do burst damage. You can use Emblem, but it just doesn't do damage. It's like 200k at most. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, but that's not a real problem. Because she is a healer, she gets to pick up a lot of slack. The fact that she does do a little bit of damage is really nice. Because she is a healer, she has access to Clam. And Song of Days Past, specifically Clam, directly does damage. And Song of Days Past buffs someone else, making her lack of damage at C0 not a real problem. I think the bigger problem is a lack of team options. Sigewinne is a Hydro healer. She's designed to be a partner for Furina, primarily. Except, what teams is that useful in? She's adding, like, 50k damage to Furina, which is not, plus being a healer, it's... Teams that we're looking at are stuff like Kokomi Mono Hydro, where you replace Kokomi with Sigewinne. We're looking at Nilou Bloom, however, she's just not very good in Nilou Bloom. Her Hydro up is once per bounce, so there's no reason to look at that. You might try to play her with Furina as double Hydro, so you can open up slots. So you can do Furina, Sigewinne, Kazuha, and an on-fielder, or you could do Furina, Sigewinne, Bennett, and someone like Arlecchino who can't be healed by Bennett, so you can get fanfare from Furina. That's really all I've come up with right now. Kind of at the end of the day, because the Abysses have left Freeze borderline unplayable, there's not any room for a Hydro healer. Because of Furina, you want your Hydro slot to be another offensive slot. If you're playing double Hydro, the other elemental healers are kind of just better. Right now, at this moment, Sigewinne does offer a buff to make up for this. She does heal a lot to make up for this. If you really like Kokomi, you might have a lot of fun with Sigewinne, especially if you wished Kokomi was a bit better if you pulled Constellations or 5-star weapons. Sigewinne C1 gives her extra bounces on her ball. It also gives her extra E-skill instances that are buffed. Every buffed E-skill instance for Furina is adding about 2.5k damage to 3k damage, depending on your gearing, team, etc., etc. It's okay. You're getting extra buff instances from C1. You're getting extra healing from C1. C2, 35% Hydro Red Shred, which is just awesome. It's going to make something like double Hydro a lot more feasible with Sigewinne than you would see normally. C3 is her Elemental Burst. Helps her Elemental Burst do more damage. C4 literally more than doubles the damage from her Elemental Burst. C6 also, I think, literally doubles the damage from her Elemental Burst again. So if you really like Sigewinne, you can make her do damage, which is awesome, and I'm glad it exists. I talked a little bit of weapon options. Pouring Heartstrings is her 5-star weapon. This is a weapon that is completely unusable on any other character besides Sigewinne because of its borderline asinine activation passives. You need to gain Bond of Life, you need to heal, and you need to just use your Elemental Burst, which is whatever. Worth mentioning, Sigewinne does generate 2 Source Water droplets. 2 is not enough to give you a Neuvillette charge attack, and you wouldn't play triple Hydro Neuvillette anyway. Stop trying to force it. It's not going to happen. I'm not super positive about Sigewinne right now, but I'm also not very positive about Kokomi. Sigewinne is primarily a Kokomi alternative who is less useful in most teams. She cannot hold TTDS for freeze teams. She does not apply as much off-field Hydro as Kokomi. She does heal more. She is a better generic Farina double hydro partner, but I'd rather have the healer be on a different element and use Yelan or even Xingqiu. Those are the disclaimers. But yeah, I don't think very highly of what Kokomi does either. Kokomi is a very competent on-field DPS, but that's kind of all I really see her as these days. A lot of people play Kokomi as an on-field DPS in mono hydro teams or in Nilou Bloom teams, and I think that's awesome. I like Nilou Bloom teams with a Dendro healer and a more offensive Hydro second slot. And then regarding Mono Hydro, I would just rather have the healer not be on the Kokomi slot. But that does not make it bad. All in all, Sigewinne is pretty underwhelming. If you really like Kokomi, you will have a fun time with Sigewinne. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I just wanted to put this out there. I'm not super happy about making this video, but hey, I figure I've got to do it. Make sure, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JaceTurn25, Wokage.